Hello, and welcome to Alchemy Mindset. I'm your host, Anna Hasty, business mindset coach for women and a sound healer. If you are ready to become the most aligned, magnetic, and confident businesswoman you are worthy and deserving of being, then this show is for you. This is where I share everything from mindset, energy, and spirituality, and how to embody your future self in business and life. Sprinkle that with deeply relaxing sound healings and meditations, and you have the Alchemy Mindset podcast. Hit subscribe so you always get the latest episode. Now let's begin. Welcome, dear listener, to episode 67 of the Alchemy Mindset podcast with Anna Hasty. This episode is about how to build and restore your confidence to live an abundant life. Now, if you'd heard the previous episode 66, I shared with you how I manifested my biggest speaking gig yet. And this episode was all about how that manifestation and the speaking gig, which was held earlier this year at the Women's Leadership Forum in March. And what I'm sharing with you in this episode is the exact presentation I gave at that forum, which really uncovers the secrets of the subconscious mind and how you can start restoring and building your confidence now. If you have attended this forum and you're listening to this episode now, you get the double benefit of hearing it again, alongside some extra bonus insights I've thrown in. Because it's always good to hear something again, even if you heard it the first time round, because it helps us not only retain the information again, but also open our mind to learning something new that we may not have heard the first time. Now, I want to say this right now. Within this presentation, I did hold a sound bath and a meditation that complemented this presentation. And if you want to get that meditation, I have a special discount for podcast listeners only, where you can get that meditation in your hot little hands and store it within your library, within your toolbox for whenever you need those moments to restore your confidence. Okay? Now, the discount is $10 off, and that's only for podcast listeners. For anybody else on my email list, on my social media following, they're going to have to get this particular meditation at its normal price of $24. Okay? So if you use the link and the discount, you only get it for $14, which is like junk change, really. Junk change meditation. And I've also included below a link where you can get an EFT tapping script that's about transforming overwhelm into unwavering inner confidence. And that's a really cool resource where I give you either the PDF or you can follow a video where it's tapping to transform from overwhelm into inner confidence. And that's available for you as well. How exciting. I know. All right, let's get into this episode. It's my intention through this episode that you will not only be able to restore your confidence through mindset, but that you'll also come away feeling more confident within yourself and ready to take action and the next steps towards something that you're deeply desiring and that you want to manifest and that you want to achieve in this moment in time or within this next season or year, as well as having that deeper understanding of your subconscious mind and why this plays a significant role in restoring and building your confidence levels. So I want to start with a little story. This happened not too long ago, actually, a conversation I had with a business friend. She messaged me. We chat a lot in WhatsApp, and she left a voice message. She was literally crying. She said, "I've just closed the cart on my latest launch for a program that I have actually launched and held before, but this time, this launch of this program has only attracted one client. And in the past, when I've run this program, it's attracted my ideal number of clients. It's been very successful. I've had a lot of fun doing it. What the hell has happened? I've followed every single step that I've previously done when I ran this program and sold it, that this time now, I've only had one client sign in. What the hell happened? And why is this different?" And so we had a long conversation about this. We talked backwards and forwards about what's happened between then and now, and a lot of experiences that have actually come into play that have shaped and actually slightly derailed her confidence, that's caused her now within her mindset and energy to, I guess, sort of somewhat sabotage this program being sold and attracted the number of clients that she's really wanted into it, despite her following the exact strategies and processes from the previous time she's launched this program. And she actually said to me, after we had a lot of conversation here, she said, the problem is my confidence. I realized that I lost my confidence from the experiences that I've had over the last few years. And deep down, I have started doubting myself. I doubt myself and my abilities. I need to raise my confidence, and I think it's time to change that. So when we look at confidence, the opposite of it is self-doubt and insecurity, and ultimately, it's fear. We sit in a place of fear when we don't feel confident about ourselves or about doing something. Now, one of the prime directives, one of the key things that our subconscious mind does is to keep us safe from anything that's going to cause us pain, anything that's going to jeopardize our life, and anything that's going to lead us to a place where we're feeling very fearful, stressed, or anxious. The prime directive, one of the key things the subconscious mind does, is to lead us from pain into pleasure and safety, which is also known as our comfort zone. So if our subconscious mind sees us stressed, anxious, it thinks that you're in danger, and it will run all the programs and the beliefs that it knows about you to remind you why it's better for you to stay in your comfort zone, in that place of safety, rather than persevere into the zone where you may be scared, fearful, anxious, or stressed, because it sees you in that element as being unsafe and that you may die. That's because the subconscious mind is running programs from our primal days, from the days when we lived in a world where we were either in safety or fear, when we were either in fight or flight, or if we were in rest and digest. It hasn't changed the way it operates from those really, really simple primal days that we existed in. Now, if you wanted to imagine what the subconscious mind looked like, I want you to picture an iceberg, right? There's a big iceberg, and you can see it sort of like sitting above the water, and then you've got the water line, and then underneath the water, like imagine, you know how you get a camera that can sit like on the water level and it shows you the top and the bottom of the water, or what's underneath the water? Underneath the water, you see this massive chunk of iceberg, like it's bigger than the bit at the top, right? Now, the bit at the top is your conscious mind. It's what we operate now every day. As soon as we wake up to the time we go to sleep, we are literally in our conscious mind waking state. Now, underneath the water, that big, massive chunk of ice, is the subconscious mind. And that does so much more than what your conscious mind does. Your subconscious mind runs 24/7 in the background. It's like this computer program that's constantly whirring away, doing all these things that are above and beyond what your conscious mind could possibly do, right? It's home to all your memories, experiences, habits, beliefs, and behaviors. It only knows the present moment, has no idea what or concept of what the future is or what the past is. It has no idea what that is. It has no idea what's real or imaginary. It only just knows what is, okay? It doesn't understand the imaginary. Like, for example, when we daydream or when we're ruminating about the past or we're stressing about the future, it only thinks it's happening right now, okay? It loves images. It loves pictures. It loves visions and metaphors. It loves stories, okay? Which is why when sometimes we go on those crazy story conversations in our mind and we're really drumming up feelings and emotions that surround those thoughts and that image that we're processing through our mind, it loves that. It feeds off it, and that's how it thinks that something is happening right now. And it gets programmed from the time that we're from 0 to 7 years old. That's when it's really in its strongest, most programmable time frame, which is why we actually have a lot of beliefs, habits, and behaviors that stem from the times when we're in those early years, because we're literally just taking in and absorbing everything that we're experiencing in our reality through our environment and our community, which is our parents, our caregivers, our family, our friends, neighbors, etc. And it works with that autonomic nervous system, that function of the fight and flight or the rest and digest response. It works within that capacity. It does so much more than that, but that's literally the nutshell of what it does underneath the surface what you do not experience within your waking mind. Now, the subconscious mind also comes to play very strongly when you go to sleep, when you're moving from your beta brainwave state, which is your everyday brainwave state, what we're in now, through your alpha, your theta, and then even to your delta. So it works a lot stronger when we're going to sleep, which is why, meditation, sound bars, subliminals, and hypnosis is really powerful at those times when you're about to go to sleep, because that's when your mind is the most programmable, right? If you want to shift and change and rewire things, do things when you're starting to go to sleep. Very powerful. Now, I want to say this. Your subconscious mind is not evil. It's not this bad part of you. It's not this part of you that needs to be destroyed, erased, some sort of demonic thing that was just put in us and it should not be there. It has a purpose, and it's just literally following the program that it's designed to do in your life and in your body and in your mind. But it's not evil. It's just something that's doing what it's being told to do. And it can completely be overridden or rewired or programmed to be in alignment with what you truly want. Okay? It isn't bad. So it's just part of your mind that is responding and giving feedback based on the information you are feeding it through what you experience from your external reality. In other words, what you see is a response of your subconscious mind just giving you feedback based on your beliefs, habits, and behaviors. Now, if you want to change your reality, you got to change your programs, change your beliefs, habits, and behaviors. You change your world. So if you don't like something that you're experiencing right now, if you don't like something about yourself, look at your beliefs. Look at how you feel about yourself. What do you think? Look at the people you're hanging out with, the lifestyle that you're living, the things that you're doing, because it's all based on programming and the habitual habits and repeating actions that you do that are constantly feeding into your subconscious mind, because it loves a shortcut. That's where a habit comes from. It's going to basically go, all right, so for example, you're learning to drive a car and putting on the seatbelt and checking the mirrors and doing the reverse thing. The more times you learn and experience how to drive a car, it creates more shortcuts so that in the end it becomes a habit. You get in the car, you put your seatbelt in, turn the ignition, reverse, look in the mirror, drive backwards. You don't even think about it these days, right? You're too busy telling the kids in the back seat to be quiet or tuning the radio into your podcast, whatever it is. So it loves a habit. It loves a shortcut. So when you show it how to do something on repeat, it's programming that. It's absorbing that. And it's going to go, all right, so this is how we do things now. We're going to make that a habit, and we're going to do that every time there is that moment that you do that. It literally is the feedback loop for your reality. You want to change your reality, change your programs, change your beliefs, habits, and behaviors. Now, if we're going to look back again at that little story I shared about my business friend, at some point, confidence got knocked out of her. She slightly got derailed, okay? And you can probably think of many times when you went to do something when confidence got knocked out of you, right? Maybe you went to, for example, you've got a fear of speaking in front of people, public speaking, but you actually remember a time as a kid or in high school or at university or something where you went up and you went to do something like speak in front of somebody and something happened and it derailed you. Maybe somebody was laughing you at the back, or you heard someone say that, oh, so-and-so, your name, Anna, she's crap at public speaking. Oh my God, she's never going to be a public speaker. And you hear something like that and it just derails you and it becomes part of you to believe that you're not good at doing something. The truth is, confidence never left the building. It never did. It got knocked out of you. It slightly derailed you, but it never went anywhere. It never completely went, okay, see you later, bye. Just found somewhere else to go. It's not outside of you. It's within you. And it comes back and it can be rebuilt through action. Okay? It never left you. It's always within you. So here are the steps to start building your confidence, right? The first thing is to step by step, incrementally build confidence, rebuild it through process, experiences, taking those steps, looking at your emotions and feelings around that. Okay. So if you have a goal of to do public speaking and yet you've had experiences in the past where public speaking failed or somebody laughed at you or they didn't have the belief that you could do it and you've taken that on board, what can you do right now to step by step incrementally rebuild your confidence through that? What can you do? You tell me. So rebuilding confidence comes from step-by-step process. It also comes from reassessing each step to see if it's still in alignment with the goal and the thing you want to achieve. Tweak it if you have to. Is your goal and what you're wanting to achieve still in alignment for you? If it isn't, tweak it. Just shift it and see if anything needs to change. And also remind yourself to put the word yet somewhere in that sentence. So, for example, I'm not very good at doing blah, blah, blah yet. Or I can't do XYZ yet. Or put something in there that says, I haven't done blah, blah, blah yet. If you end the sentence with the word yet, it gives you the opening within your subconscious mind that, no, you haven't done it at this moment in time, but you will. And it can happen, and you will do it. It hasn't happened yet, but it will. Hone in on those desired outcomes. This is the next step. Hone in on how you want to feel knowing that you have done it. How would it feel to have done? Your subconscious mind, as I said before, loves imagery, visions, and metaphors. It loves to see that you've done this thing. It loves to know that it's happened. It loves to achieve it. So go full sensory. Go full sensory, because I know you've got a beautiful mind that can do that, can create all sorts of stories and all sorts of conversations that haven't really happened or are not happening. That's where anxiety starts to come in, because we love to tell ourselves stories about things. Go full sensory. How would it feel if you had done it? How would that feel? What would that look like? What would you hear? What would you say? What would you feel physically or emotionally? What would you hear other people say? What would the moment and the environment be like in that moment? Go full sensory. The more times you imagine and visualize that thing having happened in the way that you want it to happen, your subconscious mind is going to go, right, that happened, didn't it? Because it doesn't know what's the past or the future. It only knows now. And it's actually going to start implementing its programs and the way it functions to lead you further and closer towards actually having that thing or having achieved that thing, right? Next step is just question everything. Is this a belief of mine? Is it real? Is it somebody else's? Is something that I believe? Is this serving my highest good to believe this and for what I want to achieve? So I've had many times within my business journey, lots of beliefs come up, lots of them. For example, that massage therapists don't make money, that, it's hard to build a business in a small town, blah, blah, blah. Is that one of my beliefs? Did I actually physically say those words? Did they come out of my mouth? Or is it somebody else, somebody has said to me based on their experiences and their fears and worries? Is it real? Is it serving my highest good and what I want to achieve, or is it holding me back? Now, when I've had those beliefs thrown at me, I've gone, well, that's interesting, but I choose not to believe that. And sometimes I've actually physically said that, like I've said that in return, or I just say it in my mind, that's not my belief. Question everything. And does it serve you? Okay. So I want you to think right now, before I finish this up, and I'm going to lead you with a really cool final little analogy that may help you really just take that effort, take that step, take that initiative to just start rebuilding your confidence to do the thing that you want to do, right? I want you to think of something that you really want, that you really wished, and that you would really want to have more confidence to do. A desire, a goal, something that you want to achieve. Can be anything, in business, outside of business. Start a podcast, have speaking opportunities, maybe share a product or a service on a major platform or via a particular person, blah, blah, blah. Maybe personally, it's like skydiving, having the confidence to go on a solo date night. Maybe you want to learn dancing or start a book club. Whatever it is that you feel like right now, you wish you had more confidence to do, a desire of something that you want to achieve, right? Think of that. Just think of that. Now, I want you to go through those steps. What is something that you can do in the next moment in time, within this week, this month, this next season, just immediately in this immediate future, that you can do to start building your confidence towards achieving? What can you do? One little thing, just one little thing. Okay. Now, I want you to hone in on the desired outcome. Like, how would it feel knowing that it's done, that you've achieved this thing? How good would it feel to have held your first book club event? So go full sensory around holding the actual event. And then how will it feel when you sit back on your couch at the end of the book club event going, wow, I did that. How good would that feel? What would you be doing? How would you be feeling? Go full sensory. And then tune in. Are there any beliefs that you currently have around why you cannot achieve this thing? And are they your beliefs or are they someone else's? And are they real beliefs or are they imaginary? Okay. Just do those 3 things and then see where you land. And I'd love to hear how you go with that. Send me a message on Instagram at Anna F. Hasty or an email and just, hey, listen to episode 67. This is what's going on. All right. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to support you in this. I'd love to cheer you on. Now, before we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with a very, very, very cool analogy. Now, this analogy I didn't get to share with the audience. I would love you to really just take a moment. So just pause whatever you're doing. If you're driving, please don't. Just pay attention to the road. But if you're walking, maybe find somewhere to sit or just take a moment to close your eyes. You're an intelligent person. You know you can do this safely when you can. Please do that. So close your eyes. Now I want you to imagine a really beautiful tree. Whatever tree comes to mind. It's got lots of branches and lots of leaves and it's in a beautiful forest. There's lots of bird sounds and animal sounds and maybe a bit of rustling of the air through the trees, and it's a beautiful sunny day. The weather is just perfect and you see this beautiful tree. And as you're looking up at this tree, you see a bird. And there's a bird that's just flown onto a branch of the tree. Now, that bird is sitting there and it's gone, right, great branch, landed, awesome. And it's just looking around. And it suddenly looked across from the branch that it's on to another branch. And the other branch is bigger and wider and stronger and actually has some food on it that it would like to eat. It's got like all the things it needs for creating a nest. There's lots of leaves. It's got a better view, whatever. It's a bigger branch. Does that bird sit there and go, oh, I wish I could have that branch. I just don't have the confidence to do that. I just don't have the confidence or the skills to fly to that branch because last week, Sid told me a story of how he knew someone else that fell off a branch when they were trying to fly to it and they just missed it and it was a complete disaster. And that's definitely going to happen to me because if it happened to Sid's friend, it can happen to me. And you know what? I really don't deserve that big branch because you know what? Like, I just don't. I've been told that I don't deserve good and best and bigger things. So I can't go to that branch. That branch is way out of my league. No, the bird just goes, bigger branch. Awesome. Flies. Probably doesn't even say awesome, but it just goes there. It just literally flies to the branch and it enjoys whatever that branch has until it sees another branch and another branch and another branch. And it just flies all over the tree to different branches. It is not having a conversation as to why it cannot fly to the bigger branch. It just flies to the bigger branch. So be the bird. Fly to the bigger branch. And I will tell you this. I will tell you exactly why. You, my dear listener, are here for a reason on this planet. It is no coincidence that you are here to learn and restore confidence within yourself. And it's no coincidence that you are here in this moment in time to achieve the things that you want to in this life. There is no coincidence. You are here for a reason. You are 1 in 4 trillion chances of incarnating on this planet, of being born. So stop wasting time on silly, petty, inner critical dialogues that are keeping you stuck, small, and not stepping into your true light. You are here to make a change and a difference. When you change, do the healing work, do the inner work, you will see a ripple out effect into the collective and to the community and to the world around you. You are here to make a difference. Future generations need us right now to clean our shit up because they have big work to do. But they can only do it with our help when we have done the inner work on ourselves. Stop wasting time. It's never too late. Be confident. Be the bird. Fly to the other branch. You can do it, my friend. I believe in you. So there you have it. That was the presentation that I held at the Women's Leadership Forum, all about building and restoring confidence. Please let me know what you think and what's your biggest takeaway from this podcast episode. And if you really want to follow this up with the amazing meditation that I also led the women through, the link is below with your exclusive podcast listener only discount. So jump on that, stick it in your toolbox when you ever need that moment to rebuild your confidence. And of course, I'm always here to support you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, bye. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to today's episode. Please rate and review this podcast so that it can continue to thrive and reach more listeners. I love to know who my listeners are, so please screenshot this episode and tag me on Instagram at Anna F. Hasty. And I look forward to connecting with you in the next episode.